Wow, what a gorgeous day here in the Pacific Northwest. Temperatures are supposed to hit about 90 for the next couple of days, up to 95. That's a little bit early for us, but we'll take the sun wherever we can get it. Thought before we head out to the vegetable garden, we'd take a look at the blueberry patch, see what they're doing, and check in on the hippie chicks and see what they've laid so far today. It's a little bit early for them, but maybe we've got one or two. Look at these gorgeous blueberries. These are going to be great in some blueberry pancakes or maybe some treats for the hippie chicks. This is Chandler variety. Usually produces pretty well for us. I didn't water it as well as I should have, so I've got some leaves that are looking a little bit crispy around the edge, but I don't think it's affecting production too much. I've got about 12 blueberry plants in different beds. This one produces the best of all of them. The other ones don't get enough sun, I think. So looking forward to enjoying these for some pancakes or blueberry muffins. Just one beautiful blue egg from the head hippie chick Beyonce that you can see right back there in the back. She's the light colored chicken. She's my diva head hippie chick. Keeps all the other hippie chicks in line. The Hippie Chick Homestead garden is in full swing. We're supposed to get some high temps this weekend, up to 90, 95, which is a little unusual for us this time of year, but we'll take it. It's beautiful and sunny today, and you can tell the strawberries are just kicking off some great production. I just planted this bed this year. It's an ever-bearing variety, so I probably won't get a lot of strawberries this June, but I should get some more in the fall. These are the mortgage lifter tomatoes that I planted about a month ago. I put them out as seedlings that I started in the greenhouse. And in front of them I've got the spinach, which I need to trim back. I've gotten a lot of spinach out of this bed. It's been hugely productive. It likes the soil. Something I did right there. Need to start trellising these and getting them going up the trellis. Another bed to mulch. These are Amish paste tomatoes. And you can tell the leaves are a little bit droopy. Amish pastes are drama queens. They love to look like they're dying. They give off this leaf curl and wilt. First time I planted them, I thought they were goners, but they produce great. So I've learned to just kind of accept it for what it is. They like to look sad. And I've got some King of the North bell peppers down here. There's a Persian cucumber back there. And I've got some alyssum, some marigolds, things that need to come up. Need to mulch this bed too. This bed's got the sun gold tomatoes in it, and they are growing like gangbusters. I've also put a couple of honey rock cantaloupe in here just to fill in some bare spots. I've got some marigolds, petunias, and some, looks like a garlic that overwintered and is kind of getting ready to get pulled. That'll happen in the next couple of weeks. That one must have got left in after I harvested last year. But it's producing, so we'll leave it in there and see what comes of it. This bed has black crim tomatoes, some sunflowers, some basil, some zinnias, some petunias, a little bit of everything. Try and attract some pollinators and deter some pests. I noticed that this one, I didn't trellis quickly enough, and it's kind of going off into its own little world there. I need to get that trellised, get it up off the ground, do a little pruning. Got the San Marzano tomatoes, just really knocking it out of the park. And in front of them I've got a couple of King of the North peppers. Those are bell peppers. They do great in northern climates. Sunflowers, some basil, a little bit of everything in there. Definitely need to get some mulch on this bed. It's got a few onions in the front. They're not doing great. Some of them are okay. Those are Patterson onions, which are a longer storing variety, but they're a white onion, much like a Walla Walla as far as flavor. And then I've got some silver slicer cucumbers back there that I just put out a couple of days ago. Hopefully they'll kick off and start growing and loving this heat. This bed may look sad, but believe me, it's not. These are the sweet potatoes. This is Vardaman variety, which does well in northern gardens. And I just put these seedlings out about 3 days ago, these slips. I ordered them from Fedco Seeds. I get great seeds and starts from them. These will take over this whole bed and they will become almost a living mulch while the tubers grow down below the soil. Check out these cute little baby asparagus. I just planted this bed this year. These are Purple Majesty variety, maybe, all purple. We won't be able to harvest them to eat for another few years, but they're coming on great. They're happy in their bed, getting lots of sun. Got the sprinkler set up. Need to mulch this bed a little bit, but not too heavily. I want them to be able to come up and grow strong so they can get some strong roots. The next few beds are peppers, all different kinds of peppers. I've got sweet chocolate bells, some paprika, which I love to smoke, dehydrate, and then grind into my own sweet smoked paprika. I mulched this bed and it's doing really well. I put the peppers out a little bit too early, so they had a little bit of yellowing on the leaves. They weren't looking very happy with me, but that seems to have resolved with some fertilizer and some sun. Some more peppers, early jalapenos in this row, and then back behind it, more King of the North. I love growing bell peppers. I do stuffed bell peppers and freeze them for winter eating. And yet more peppers. These are more jalapenos. And then behind them I've got a variety called Golden Star Bell, and they are struggling a little bit. I put them out, like I said, a little bit early. They're not loving me right now, but I think they're going to be okay, and I think they'll make a comeback. One of my favorites, it's the mystery potatoes. They overwintered from last year. I don't know what they are. Probably Yukon Gold. I think they're a determinate variety. Yukon Gold, maybe Norland Reds. They're in a 15-gallon bucket, and they just came on strong. We'll see what we get. I refer to this as my box potatoes. I planted them in a pretty tall, I'm going to say 2.5, 3 foot box. Planted them pretty deep. They're a variety called Desiree, so they're an indeterminate, and they need hilling. Planted them, covered them with soil, and when they started coming up through the soil, I started adding mulch. Every time they'd peek up through the mulch, I'd add more mulch. We're almost to the top of the box now, and so I'm going to let them go to flower, and then we'll be able to harvest them when they die back. I've got some sunflowers planted around them. That'll give the peppers a little bit of shade when it gets too warm. This is a bed of determinate Norland red potatoes. I planted them about 4 to 6 inches down. They're doing really well. I've noticed cucumber beetles kind of getting in there, so I've been picking those off. I'm hoping I can keep them at bay long enough to get a decent harvest. In these buckets, I've got a variety of potatoes. These are Satina, which is a determinate variety, which I didn't realize when I planted them. I planted them really deep and mulched them heavily. Kept mulching them until they got to the top of the bucket. You can see they're still growing, so it doesn't hurt to mulch them and plant them deep. I don't know how it will affect production. They're growing well. They're in a really sunny spot. They get a lot of good morning sun. We'll see what we get. This bed's got a little bit of everything. I've got radishes over here, getting ready to harvest those, and I'll put in probably a summer squash. I've got some eggplant, and I noticed one of those was starting to bud. Get little buds on it. I don't know if we can see them very well right here. I'll probably pick that first round of buds. I don't think the plant's really strong enough yet to support the heavy weight of eggplant right now. I've got some more radishes. Some carrots back there, some lettuce, a few marigolds, sweet William, and a sunflower. Doesn't look like much now, but it's going to be honey rock cantaloupe. These are a small variety, super sweet and tasty. They do well in the Pacific Northwest. I grow them up these A-frame trellises, and I've got some marigolds in there to try and deter some pests. I've always had great luck with growing cantaloupe here in the Pacific Northwest as long as I stick to smaller varieties, and these have performed magnificently over the years. I just planted this bed about 2 days ago. These are yellow squash. I've surrounded them with marigolds. I've got an onion that I'm letting bolt and go to seed to help keep pests away, and then some sunflowers. Last year my squash, primarily my winter squash, was decimated by squash bugs. We don't have a problem with squash vine borers here, but we do get squash bugs. So that's why I've kind of overloaded the bed with some marigolds. Need to get some mulch in here, but I think they're going to do okay. I've got one that looks a little sad from transplant, but either he'll grow or he'll get replaced. This is my experimental bed. I love canning, so I wanted to can some kidney beans since we use those in a lot of stews and soups. This bed has gone crazy. I'm hoping to get a really good harvest out of it. I planted it really early and it's just taken off. If I contrast the kidney beans in that bed with the black-eyed peas in this bed, these are sad. But I think they'll love the heat the next few days. Keep them watered. I need to get some mulch on the bed, and I think they'll make a comeback. Speaking of beans, here we have green beans. This is a Romano bean. It's a flat Italian bean. I planted these just, I don't know, 10 days, 2 weeks ago. I had a lot of gaps, so I just put new bean seeds in to try and fill in some gaps. I use these little protectors from the dollar store, little baskets, to protect the seedlings from the birds. They don't get in there and pull all the seeds out. This bed will get mulched after I get a few more beans coming up. Sort of a mixed bed, some leftover black crim tomatoes, some Persian cucumbers, which I love because the squash bugs don't seem to hit those as hard, and they're also a burpless variety, so they don't make you burp and they don't get bitter. I've got some, what do I have in there? Got some marigolds, a little bit of everything, some basil that's looking a little bit yellowed, and then some sweet alyssum and a silver slicer cucumber right in the front. These are a variety of long day onions. I've got ruby red and Walla Wallas and some Patterson onions, all started from seed. They're doing really well. I topped them, which I've never done before, but we had a lot of wind the last couple of days, and a lot of the stems were broken. So I cut those off just to reduce the weight and hopefully keep the main stem growing strong. I've got a San Marzano tomato back there with some basil, a couple of delicata squash seedlings, some marigolds. These are delicata squash, which is a winter variety, but you can eat it as a summer squash. And you'll notice I'm getting some blooms on that. It's planted with some onions to try and keep those squash bugs away. I've got a silver slicer cucumber in there, some zinnias, some basil, another Persian cucumber that's doing well. You can see my little pinwheel in the corner. Again, an effort to keep the birds out. It seems to be working. I get them at the dollar store. It's an easy way to kind of protect the bed from birds and squirrels. This is my other established asparagus bed. This was year 3, so we started harvesting. I've gotten several pounds of asparagus out of this bed. You see, we're at the tail end of it now. I've got just a couple of sprouts coming up, a couple of spears. There's some nasturtium in there that overwintered and seeded itself, and we've got radishes along the front row just because I needed somewhere to put radishes. This is one of my onions that I didn't get last year, didn't harvest. It never really grew, so I didn't pull it, and since onions are a biennial, it sent up a good 3-foot flower stalk, and I see it's getting ready to open up and give me some flowers. I've left it here, let it go to flower. I'll capture the seeds later, and in the meantime, the flower will help attract beneficial insects to keep those squash bugs at bay. This is a beautiful black lace elderberry that I got from a friend. It has put on some gorgeous blossoms. I'm hoping it sets fruit, and we're going to get it out of the pot that it's in and get it planted in the ground this next fall. I think it will be a gorgeous bush once we get it going. So that's a little tour of the Hippie Chick Homestead garden. You can tell some beds still left to plant. Get some green beans in there, some okra. Still have plenty of time for that. And there's the rest of the beds, doing their job, enjoying the sun, soaking up the water, and growing like crazy. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and hope you're having a great day in the garden.